MTL World at World 1 YouTube channel. Swallowed Star 2 Origin Continent. Chapter 266 Ultimate Enlightenment of the Great Tao. 45th of Volume 6. The Origin Continent is entering its final phase, estimated to be on the brink of extinction in a few billion epochs. These emperors and monarchs, who have not comprehended the complete Great Tao, must leave the Origin Continent before its extinction. They are now even more blatant in their struggle for resources. It was Luo Feng who pushed for the rule that great sinners must die. Otherwise, the number of god kings on the Origin Continent practicing the Xuanhuan bloodline who would devour billions of lives to avoid perishing along with the continent would likely increase. The Tianzhu realm guarding mission, Luo He's term has ended. The current ruler, Emperor Fu, smiled and said, "Naturally, we need to select a new guest elder. Everyone can discuss who you would like to recommend." The Emperor Fu can make direct appointments, but for tasks related to the royal family, the number of times the Emperor Fu can force an appointment is also limited. This time, the Emperor Fu has clearly brought out the task of the Tianzhu realm for the other emperors to compete for. In the end, this task still fell into the hands of Di Yan and the others. Di Yan, Di Shi, and Di Wu teamed up, considering that Di Yuan was dead and Di Qing was not involved. In contemporary times, under the condition that the ruling emperor does not participate in the competition, Di Yan and his small group are the most competitive. Emperor Kong, Emperor Zan, Emperor Zhu Feng, Emperor Wu, Emperor Yu, Emperor Ming, Emperor Chu. These 7 are all a bit independent and unconventional. The next mission location is the Heaven and Earth Maze Guarding Mission. Emperor continued to list one task after another was confirmed. The next task is to guard the Fire Hell Realm. The Fire Hell Realm has cultivated various Xuanhuan bloodline creatures with the strength of the second stage of the God King realm. At least a second stage God King realm expert is required to guard them. Di Fu said. "Is there anyone who wants this task? I'll take the task of guarding the Fire Hell Realm." Di Chu spoke. "In your Chu lineage, the one who is suitable for receiving this task is Luo He, right?" Di Yan frowned and said. "Just recently, he was assigned to guard the Tianzhu realm, and now he's going to the Huiyu Fire Hell realm. All the good things are going to him. Our royal family must have rules for managing these guest officials. They must make enough merit and hard work to receive appropriate benefits." Emperor Chu was puzzled. Isn't guarding the Fire Hell realm a hard task? Everyone knows that Luo He is cultivating the Tao of life. The method of cultivating the Xuanhuan bloodline creatures within the Fire realm, known by all, contains many secrets of life. How could we let him easily pry into it? Di Yan said. The ancestor of Yangfeng can only stably cultivate Xuanhuan bloodline creatures with the strength of the second level of the God King realm. Occasionally, individual ultimate realm Xuanhuan bloodline creatures will also appear. I'll take on this task. Emperor Wu also spoke up. I plan to personally guard the Fire Hell realm and thoroughly study the mysteries of life. Di Wu is cultivating the Tao of life, but he has been unable to comprehend the Great Tao. Emperor Wu, once these words were spoken, all parties could only retreat. When it comes to competing for tasks, it is definitely a priority for the emperors to take them. After a moment, the tasks were all assigned, and the emperors left one by one. Emperor Yan. The Emperor Fu left behind the Emperor Yan. What's the matter? Di Yan looked at this old friend. Di Yan, you are so biased against Luo He, I suppose Di Chu will also inform this to his disciples. Di Fu said. You are making an enemy of Luo He. Di Yan said calmly, we've been enemies for a long time. The 3 emperors were united and had long been in a bad relationship with Emperor Chu, which had already implicated Luo He. Moreover, the resources of the entire Origin continent are limited. Di Yan said calmly, this Luo He's talent is too high. If we don't suppress him, he might become even more aggressive and take away the resources that rightfully belong to us. At first, you couldn't tolerate Zongfu. Di Fu gently shook his head. And now you can't tolerate Luo He either. Di Fu said. We're going to venture outside the Origin world, and we have to fight for everything. Di Yan's eyes were cold. Of course, the improvement of one's own strength must also suppress these powerful opponents. If you do this, I'm afraid there will be a backlash. The Emperor Fu advised. If we're going to fight, why fear the backlash? Di Yan sneered and then left. Di Fu didn't say much more. Based on these 500 years of detailed observation, I can almost be certain that Luo He is the ruler of the Galaxy Kingdom. Di Fu sighed inwardly. Di Yan, your methods are ruthless, but this time you've hit a brick wall. Di Yan and the others have took action again and again, and the God Kings such as Zongfu God King and Gui Shu God King, were killed one by one. Some God Kings had their entire clans wiped out, while others barely survived by a stroke of luck. Why have Zongfu God King and Gui Shu God King been filled with murderous intent? It's because their loved ones are gone. Luo Feng has risen too quickly, and since he hasn't displayed any obvious treasures, Dian and the other three never took action. Tianzhu Realm. In front of a towering heavenly pillar, Luo Feng stood there, observing carefully. His observation is multifaceted. On one hand, it is through the eye of life and death from a distance. On the other hand, it is through the perception of his spiritual consciousness, and on yet another side, it is through the perspective of ordinary beings within world. Observe from multiple angles, reflect on each other. Boom. Luo Feng's eye of life and death saw a surging black river. This black river was so turbulent, sweeping everything away wantonly. These are some of the mysteries of life within the Xuanhuan space, far more profound and vast than the life Tao within the supreme rules. Luo Feng studied the life Tao of the supreme rules, which contained the secrets of all life within the origin continent. But what about the broader space? In the Xuanhuan space, the number of original worlds is countless, there are even more billion worlds, there are vast numbers of naturally born Xuanhuan life forms, and there are even more mysterious unknowns. The mysteries of life in the Xuanhuan space are far more profound than those in the origin continent. 36 Tianzhu pillars, 9 grand Daos, each Dao with 4 Tianzhu pillars, in 4 different directions. Luo Feng thought, Senior Yuan and the others truly have good intentions. These pillars are like lights lit in the darkness, illuminating the way. Every great Dao in the Tianzhu realm can glimpse 4 directions, all of which are the directions after breaking free from the cage. Brother Luo He, I've come to hand over the task of guarding the Tianzhu realm. An old man in a gray robe arrived at one of the entrances to the Tianzhu realm and encountered one of Luo Feng's guarding clones. The Millennium Task deadline has arrived, it's time for the handover. First, follow me to meet Emperor Zan. Luo Feng said. For him, it doesn't matter whether he takes on the duty of guarding the Tianzhu realm. His identity as the Lord of the Galaxy allows him to freely comprehend those 36 pillars within the Tianzhu realm. Okay. The old man in the gray robe and Luo Feng first went to see Emperor Zan, and then the official handover took place. Luo Feng also considered it a completed task. Since then, Luo Feng has had only one task left to carry out in the Yangfeng ancient country, which is to guard Shangji city. The conflict between Luo Feng and Yan Su had resulted in Luo Feng being sentenced to guard Shangji city for a full 10,000 days, and now he is still far from completing the term. Today, 5 continuous mountain ranges stand around Huyang city, and these 5 mountain ranges resemble a massive formation, completely protecting Huyang city. If a powerful being were to glimpse the underground structure of the 5 continuous mountains, they would discover that the foundations beneath the 5 mountains are even more massive and ultimately connect to form a colossal whole, resembling a gigantic claw. A natural secret treasure, a world in the palm of hand. In the 500 epochs, even if Luo Feng's strength is strong enough, and had the eye of life and death to observe, he could only obtain one innate treasure in the deep regions of the dream domain. This innate treasure is a furry little claw. This claw inherently contains endless mysteries of secret patterns. Once the claw is activated, a realm will naturally form at the palm. Luo Feng named it the Palm Realm. After refining and mastering it, Luo Feng placed his small claws in the Huyang city area. The 5 continuous mountain ranges visible on the surface are just the tip of the iceberg. Only a few people on the origin continent can glimpse the wonders of this innate treasure. Luo Feng thought. Perhaps this will also reveal that I am the Lord of the Galaxy. Whether it would be exposed, Luo Feng didn't care. Originally, Luo Feng was planning to buy a formation treasure of the cave type from Di Qing to protect Huyang city and the headquarters of the Daohe sect. But this innate treasure is indeed more suitable for this day. Luo Feng only activated a portion of its power, yet it allowed this innate treasure to easily reach the power limit of the origin continent. The dream realm is indeed magical, capable of naturally giving birth to treasures. In comparison, the life within the origin continent is much simpler. Luo Feng was walking through a wilderness, observing the surrounding flowers, grass, trees, and the distant strange beasts. With a single glance, he could see the source of the life force of these flowers, grass, trees, and strange beasts. Everything originates from the energy source of the origin continent. As various beings absorb it, they also grow stronger. What is cultivation? Cultivation is about finding ways to absorb more energy, allowing one's life form to continuously evolve. Under the operation of the highest rules, the life form becomes stronger and stronger. As Luo Feng walked, the surrounding trees, flowers, and grass rapidly grew, with the large trees growing at an alarming rate. As they ascend to hundreds of millions of kilometers, billions of kilometers, and trillions of kilometers, these towering trees have begun to gain consciousness. They have started to think and comprehend the universe. Flowers and plants are also growing, either taking root in the earth or penetrating the void. The distant strange beasts were also undergoing transformation, evolving into void true God level, eternal true God level, chaos level, and God King level. One by one, the strange beasts directly transformed into God King level. However, their consciousness was too weak, and their intelligence too low to control such massive bodies, ultimately resulting in a loud bang as they exploded. I can enlighten them, but the premise is that their spiritual will must be strong enough to control such a physical body. Luo Feng gently shook his head. Under my guidance, they can naturally evolve into the peak level of the second realm of the God King, but finding such a strong spiritual will is very difficult. Master. The towering tree condensed into the figure of an old man and bowed respectfully. A plant rooted deep in the ground also transformed into a woman, bowing respectfully. There was also a bird-like beast that had taken on the form of a young man, bowing respectfully. They all possess the strength of the chaotic realm, and of course, they were all enlightened by external forces. It's not easy to enlighten a life form to the level of a God King. Luo Feng said with a smile. Life Tao is infinitely profound. While enlightening many lives collectively, Luo Feng has already completely comprehended the life Tao. The great Tao of life within the supreme rules operates without a trace of confusion. How does life came? How does it form? How does it grow stronger? How does it evolve? All mysteries reside in the heart. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe. MTL World at World 1 YouTube channel.